Hello, today we are going to discuss about the basics of application architecture on a high level. First, let, let us assume there is a dev. He has built a code or an application and deployed it to the server. A server is a computer which will take requests and provide services, and a server coordinates with a database or a storage to utilize the data in it. For example, this is a MySQL or MongoDB server, right? Now let us get into a user perspective. There is a user who wants to request the server a service. For example, user requests from his perspective to server, for example, www.youtube.com. And the server responds with a front-end website code. And he will view the front-end website in his computer or an app. Okay. Now let us assume the user has requested for a YouTube video. Then the server is assumed as a REST API service. Then the server responds with the video data in a binary format or an object format. This is how a server responds from a user perspective. Now let us get into a scenario where we have three users, and these three users are concurrently requesting the server for a service. Now the server load is increased and the server has crashed. What will we do to reinitiate the server or avoid this situation? We will scale the server vertically, which means that we will increase the RAM, storage, etc. of the server so that it will not be crashed by having more users. This is vertical scaling. And now coming to another type of scaling, which is horizontal scaling, which is if there are more users, we will deploy another server with the same configurations of the first server. And the user request will be divided between these servers. How these requests will be divided? We will use a service known as load balancer, which takes the user request instead of the server. And after taking the user request, it will divide the services between the three servers or the servers which you had horizontally scaled. This is how a user load is handled in terms of scaling. Now let us discuss a high grade application. There are three users who have been concurrently requesting the service, which is a ChatGPT similar service. We have a server known as 1GPT, which is similar to a ChatGPT. It takes prompts and replies to the prompts. Okay, and we have a monitoring server which takes the logs of the server. For example, user logged in, user asked a prompt, user get replied from a prompt, etc. And we will get the logs of the server such that the server is functioning or not. And we have a cache server to reduce the load and increase the percentage of users by fast replies. How it will work? We will create a communication or a networking service between the 1GPT server and cache server, which means that if the prompt is asked again, for example, there is a prompt which is asked in the history and it is asked again, we will not request the 1GPT server. Instead of, we request the cache server and take the response which is saved in the cache server and reply to the user. The cache server replies with the prompt and the user will get the prompt. This is how a application architecture works. Thank you.